Greetings, welcome to Facts About Everything. I am your host, James Egan. Last week I did a video about Black Panther and I asked if people wanted me to do a special about black superheroes and supervillains. And people on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter said yes. So for the next couple of weeks I will do a video about a superhero or superheroine or supervillain or supervillainess. Is that a word? I don't know. I should have prepared this better. So I decided to start with the most famous African-American superhero, Storm. Her real name is Ororo Ikwadi Monroe. Ororo means beauty. She debuted in Giant Size X-Men in 1975. This was also the debut of Nightcrawler and Colossus. Storm is a mutant with the ability to fly and she can manipulate weather. The technical term for this is atmokinesis. Although everyone knows this, you can just guess it by her name, her powers are way more complicated than that. She can modify the temperature of an environment and alter the precipitation, humidity, and moisture of an area on a molecular level. She can control the energy that affects weather, such as thermal energy, kinetic energy, and electromagnetic energy.
Storm, mistress of the elements, commands you to release that child.
She can withstand intense cold and heat to an unknown degree. Although she is one of the most beloved superheroes, editors hated her because she has white hair. They were really worried that she would look like an old woman. Because of this, the artist had to try extra hard to make her look as stunning as possible so the readers wouldn't mistake her as an old woman. Because of this, Storm is known as one of the most beautiful comic book characters ever. She was born in Harlem. She is the daughter of a princess of a Kenyan tribe of priestesses. All the tribe members have white hair and blue eyes. When she was young, her parents moved her to Egypt. While she was there, her parents died in an airplane attack. In the attack, she was buried under rubble and she was left with crippling claustrophobia. She survived in Cairo as a pickpocket. She usually carries a bunch of lockpicks. She heavily relied on them when she was growing up in Egypt. At first, Storm was a very repressed character who rarely gave in to her emotions. Over time, she became rebellious and sported a mohawk hairstyle. She has this look in X-Men Apocalypse. Another potential name for Storm was Typhoon. Storm is one of the most powerful mutants in the world. She is classified as an Omega mutant, which is considered to be the highest level. Technically, the highest level is an Alpha mutant, but I'm not going to get into that. She can manipulate the air in her own lungs so she can breathe perfectly in high altitude. She can manipulate the pressure inside of a human ear, which can cause intense pain. She can bend the light to make herself and others invisible. She can separate hydrogen and oxygen molecules, which can allow her to breathe underwater. Because she can control electromagnetism, it is very difficult for her psychic to control her, since a human's brainwaves are electromagnetic. She has a massive tolerance to being struck by lightning. Although it does hurt, a lightning strike will not kill her. An alternative story shows what would have happened if Storm became the Phoenix instead of Jean Grey. Speaking of which, Jean Grey is Storm's best friend. Also, let me know if you want me to do a video about Jean Grey. She is played by Halle Berry in 4 of the X-Men films. And she's played by Alexander Shipp in X-Men Apocalypse. In one issue, Storm turned into a teenager. This is actually the first X-Men comic I ever read. I kept reading X-Men to find out how she turned into a teenager. I never found out. I've now read over 10,000 comics, I still don't know how. Somebody explain that to me? The weather is affected by her mood. If she is angry, the weather becomes stormy and thunderous. She usually does this unintentionally when she's enraged. Apart from Wolverine, Storm is the only character that has been on the 3 main superhero teams: the X-Men, the Avengers, and the Fantastic Four. This is when the Fantastic Four was considered a main super team. Storm became the leader of the sewer-dwelling mutants known as the Morlocks. Storm was in love with a mutant called Forge. Forge has the power to build anything he desires. She can feel the gravitational pull of the moon. Storm founded a splinter team known as Extreme X-Men. This team tried to track down the diaries of a mutant prophet called Destiny. She can tell if a storm is natural or created by a mutant. Her power has bonded her with a planet. One time she sensed that a tree near the Xavier Mansion died. She can see in almost complete darkness. She can use her electromagnetic powers to see the physical world as energy. Her ancestors used magic and witchcraft. It has been implied that Storm is Bishop's grandmother. Her costume is made of unstable molecules, so it will not be damaged if she is struck by lightning. She can speak English, Arabic, Swahili, Wakandan, Japanese, Yoruba, and Russian. She can sense earthquakes, hurricanes, and other natural phenomenon from thousands of miles away. She can create ball lightning. She lost her virginity to T'Challa. T'Challa is better known as the superhero Black Panther. Storm married Black Panther and became queen of the African nation of Wakanda. This marriage was eventually annulled. I already talked about this in the Black Panther video. If you want to know more about it, check it out. She was briefly the goddess of thunder and wielded Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. Storm fought Cyclops to decide who should lead the X-Men. Storm emerged victorious and was the team leader for a time. In one story, she became a vampire called Bloodstorm. Speaking of vampires, Dracula is in love with Storm. Storm is the first black superheroine in comics. The cape that Storm wears was originally meant to be part of Jean Grey's design. Originally, she was going to be called the Black Cat. Her mutant power would allow her to turn into a feline creature. And finally, she was in a relationship with Wolverine until the day he died. Thanks for watching, and please let me know if there's any other black superheroes or supervillains you want me to do in the future. Be sure to subscribe to Facts About Everything. Follow me on Twitter for updates on upcoming videos. Check out my Facebook page to let me know what subjects you want me to talk about in the future. Thanks for watching, see you again.